There's gonna
It's a
be a
bench
bench
trial.
trial.
Okay, then I want the DA.
You want the DA?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you realize that I was woken up during the middle of the night to come in and take care of this. You want the DA? I'll try to get you the DA. Anything for you, sir?
Apologize, Your Honor.
Motherfucker needs to be 50.
You know, okay, you know what? It's fine.
You know, I actually agree.
You're super smart, Judge.
It's fine.
I hope
Go ahead.
you sleep good. And good stuff happens.
I wasn't aware that there were bench trials for warrants, Your Honor.
Of course
I
there is.
apologize
You're the one that wrote
for-
the warrant, so he can contest that warrant if he so chooses.
Easy
It's
clap.
it's no different if you arrested him and brought him in for a bench trial. You placed a warrant out for his arrest. Now, if you weren't in the city and he was picked up on that warrant, he would have to go through the appeal court.
I understand, Your Honor. I apologize for my outburst.
Now,
This
I'll
whole
get
situation
I'll get you a
has...
representative from the DA's office.
It's fine, Your Honor. All right. This whole situation is, I can tell by the tone of your voice, has caused a lot of unnecessary stress for everybody.
Well, it's kind of a lack of a couple things when...
Yo,
I'm sitting here
Nathaniel, thank
waiting,
you for buying
and
that
then
chain
I'm
gang
looking
tee,
for
dude.
a report along with the warrant to kind of go along with that, and I don't see anything, and the warrant's been posted for quite a while. I would hope
Few
something
hours.
this serious would have something behind it, especially a 5150, or even if there was any paperwork provided to the doctors that you're requesting a 5150 for him. I'm sure that paperwork's been done.
The
too,
doctors
correct?
informed us that they cannot get involved in this. They're
Yeah,
told
I've
specifically
always-
by their chief.
But you would still have to provide some kind of documentation or paperwork, because ultimately the paperwork has to go to them, correct?
I understand. I am in the. I'm almost done writing it. We've been back to back all night. I didn't expect someone with an escaping custody warrant to turn themselves in and request a bench trial at 3 a.m, waking you up. I apologize, Your Honor.
Andy, thank you for the 10 gifted, baby. I appreciate that. Thank you. I really appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much,
But
man.
if you'd like, I can finish it right now.
Man, something as serious as a 5150 took hours for what? Holy shit. Fucking crazy. And refused me a lawyer. Nuts.
I've sent a message to the district attorney.
Oh, I'm on the way. I'll go over.
All right, I'll go ahead and call this bench trial into order at this time. Mr. Pistone, you're facing one charge of escaping custody. There's also a 5150 recommendation in there as well. How are you pleading at this time, sir?
Not guilty.
All right. Officer Steele, do you have any evidence, physical evidence that you'd like to provide at this time?
No, Your Honor. No physical evidence.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and swear you at this time. Officer Steele, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalties of perjury, so help you Coyle?
So help me, Coyle.
All right, sir, I'd like your statement pertaining to the warrant that you wrote for Mr. Pistone for escaping custody, also the 5150 that is underlying inside there.
Yeah, Your Honor. So, this all started when Mr. Pistone had entered the restricted area of Mission Row PD. It was the beginning of the staircase to the holding cells. At that time, Mr. Pistone, I asked him to stop moving. He refused. He continued running around like it was a game. He was tased and placed in custody for felony trespassing. At that time, he had several illegal items on him. Once he was in custody and I was sorting out his charges, he initially had asked for a lawyer. I circled back again and I asked him if he wanted that lawyer. At that point, he declined. He then went on a long-winded rant about how once he is released from custody, he's going to murder myself and Deputy Bayo here. He said he was going to fill us with lead, watch the blood leave our body. He'd see us on the street, and he would take great pleasure in all of it. I gave him some time to cool off.
Blood? What the fuck? I never
Came
said
back.
blood.
He never did.
What the hell?
So I sent him off. I consulted with Dr. Andrews because I was thinking about a 5150. She said that based off all of that, she would recommend it. So I went to Bolingbrook Penitentiary to get him sent over to Parsons. Before I did that, I just had a trial with Artson. I asked him about it. He said to just go ahead and do it and just write the report. So I got went to Bolingbrook, went to retrieve him. He asked about an attorney. I said I wasn't sure if attorneys were involved with 5150s. I was going to call an attorney once we got to Parsons, but the transport was intercepted. Myself and Deputy Bayo were shot down. At that point, Mr. Pistone asked the driver to go to my body, and he then started to taunt me before entering the vehicle and making his escape. The reason I felt that the 5150 was justifiable is because, I mean, to be blunt, it meets how it's written in the penal code. Yeah, it's just a recommendation. I'm not calling him, saying that he has some sort of mental illness, but the fact that
are you aware of Block A of the 5150 that is written in this city? Have you reviewed that document that is available to law enforcement?
No, Your Honor, I don't believe I have.
Okay, so I will read you Block A.
Sure.
When a person, as a result of a mental health disorder, is a danger to others or to himself or herself or gravely disabled, a peace officer, professional person in charge of a facility designated by the county for evaluation and treatment, member of the attending staff as designed by regulation of a facility designed by the county for evaluation and treatment, or professional person designated by the county may, upon probable cause, take or cause to be taken the person into custody for a period of up to 72 hours for assessment. So, do you feel that, from what Mr. Pistone said to you, that he has some sort of mental health disorder at that time and was a danger to you at that time with enough probable cause?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe anyone that takes the pleasure out of the watching another person die, I would at that point suspect that they could possibly have some sort of mental health issue, Your Honor. I was also concerned by how quickly he went from, he was talking to Deputy Bayo in the lobby. He was completely cool, calm, collected, and then within 5 minutes, saying that sort of stuff. So I was also slightly disturbed by how quickly he was able to flip the switch.
Yeah, because I was talking to a cop with a brain.
It's interesting coming from
Vinny,
Jordan,
please
huh?
speak. Thank
Sorry.
you.
So yes, Your Honor. I do believe that I had enough reason to suspect that he potentially had some sort of mental health issue, and I obviously I did believe that he was a danger for myself and my fellow officer. His record reflects that he's willing to attack peace officers, so I had no reason to believe that everything he was saying were empty threats.
Okay, so based off of what you witnessed and him flipping a switch, would that be more of an anger issue or would that be more of a mental health disorder to you?
Well, I guess that's kind of where, well, I mean, bipolar disorder is a mental health issue, Your Honor.
Yep,
You're claiming that
African.
Mr. Pistone has bipolar disorder.
We're not medical professionals. When I consulted with Dr. Andrews, she said that that was a possibility. And as I had previously stated, and again, I don't know the medical phrase for it, but I would absolutely, and I think everyone in this courtroom would, well, I would hope, would say that seeing the life leave someone's body and taking pleasure out of it is they're mentally disturbed in some capacity.
All right.
I would just like to remind everyone that Dr. Andrews is not a psychologist or a psychiatrist.
I'm well aware of that, Murphy. Now, the other question I have for you, you brought up his prior criminal record. I'm going to ask you a question here. So everyone that you deal with that shoots at you or makes a threat towards you, or do you consider that to be a mental health disorder? that recommends or requires a 5150?
Get fucked, Jordan. Get
I think
fucked,
it was more.
bitch.
So I mean, all of that. That's all heat of the moment, right? None of that. I've
Can
never
be.
heard anything. Well, in my experience, in my 3 weeks as a cadet, as far as I know, none of that's really been premeditated. But this was, it couldn't have been more premeditated. And I don't know. I've never asked them if they took pleasure in doing it. I don't know.
All right.
If
Do you have
someone
anything
did,
else to
yeah,
add to
sure.
your statement?
If someone was laughing like a maniac while gunning down police officers for seemingly no reason, absolutely, I would recommend them for a 5150. Absolutely.
All right. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. And Deputy Bayo, are you willing to speak?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right. Can I get you to raise your left arm, please?
Absolutely.
Oh, come.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you Coyle?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, sir. Let me hear your statement.
All right. I was just getting on duty. Was in the locker room when I heard Officer Steele telling somebody to get out. You're not supposed to be here. Get out. Get out. I then heard subject get tased. I went out there. Saw Mr. Pistone getting put in cuffs. Took him downstairs. While he was getting put in cuffs, he said, "Hey, Bayo, how you doing, baby?" You know, kind of just in a nonchalant way. And when we got downstairs, and Mr. Officer Steele here was telling him what he was going to be arrested for, he started to just he flipped the switch and just started to get more and more irate, or just straight to being irate, saying that he was going to kill him, he was going to fill him with lead, and said that I was also going to be a target. You as well, Bayo. He said he would take pleasure in seeing us bleed out, and he will hunt us down. He will follow us, or he will find us, and he will kill us. When we asked him if he wanted
still
a lawyer,
gonna
he
happen.
stated he did not want a lawyer. He would take care of it himself, and that he would find us.
And it's still gonna happen.
Officer Steele left him be for a bit. We both left him be. Came back. He was still going on about how he was going to kill us and whatnot. I think we've drove that in. We after speaking to Tora Andrews, and getting her opinion on it. However, I know she is not a psychologist
On the list.
or therapist. We got her opinion on it, as we are not professionals either. And we decided after reviewing it that we would recommend him for a 5150 to be evaluated by a professional. So we head down to Bolingbrook, where we loaded him into a car and it started to drive away, at which point we were shot by a vehicle with automatic weapons. Mr. Pistone seemed to have knew him, said don't mess with us. Got him loaded up in the car, and I could hear him saying, "Get me over to Jordan," I believe he said, explicit, I don't know what word it was, body. At which point I lost eyes on the vehicle. We were treated at the hospital, and the warrant was put out.
Why would having someone sit in a cell like an
Right.
animal?
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's all.
All right, Mr. Pistone, are you willing to waive your Fifth Amendment right at this time and testify at this bench trial?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and have you raise your left arm for me, please.
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give at this bench trial is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you Coyle?
I do.
Okay. I want you to stick to the very specifics here
Yes, sir.
of your interactions with both deputy and officer down at Mission Row.
Yeah, not a problem.
And then when they came to get you at the prison, and what transpired after that.
Okay, so basically, Jordan had called me on the phone asking me if I knew where my red Vigero was, and I told him no. And he told me, okay. So, you know, red Vigero, I always said in my head, wait, I always give that to my friend Mario to drive. So when I went down to Mission Row, I was on the phone with Jordan, by the way. Miss Lauren Enforcer left the door open. So I heard Jordan being on the phone with me, and I heard him downstairs. So I went downstairs. I proceeded to go downstairs to talk to him.
When you say she left the door open, did she leave the door open for you, or the
No,
door
no, no,
was left unlocked?
she left it unlocked. I apologize. So I went downstairs, and because there was so many voices up top, I figured let me go down there and just talk to Jordan, like normal, like we always do. And I went down there, and he said, I need to search you if you want to be down here. I said, no, thank you. I'll just go back upstairs. Jordan proceeded to run after me and said, you're not going nowhere, bitch. Tased me, threw me in the fucking cell, never read me my rights, removed all the items off of me unlawfully, and then proceeded to tell me I was being charged with felony trespassing after he proceeded to do everything to me. Not read me my rights, remove all my weapons, all my whatever I had on me, and then told me what I was being charged with. So I ain't gonna lie to you.
At any time, hold on. At any time were your rights read to you?
No, they weren't, sir.
Okay.
So, I was in the cell, and he had the nerve to tell me, Your Honor, I got caught with 1 bag of crack. He told me, what triggered me was he told me he's charging me with possession of crack with the intent to distribute. How the fuck am I gonna get intent to distribute?
All right, watch your language, please.
I'm sorry, I apologize. How am I gonna distribute 1 bag of crack? That's why I got mad. And I'll be straight with you. I looked at him and told him right to his face, next time I see you, I'm gonna mow you down and I'm gonna load you with lead. And that was it. And then Bayo started agreeing with him, and I told, same for you, Bayo. When I catch you on the outside, I'm gonna fucking fill you with lead the same way I'm gonna do with Jordan. And that was that. I didn't ask for a lawyer. They brought me to the fucking prison. That was fine.
Language, please.
I'm sorry. I was
So,
doing...
you did not ask for a lawyer at that point?
No. I did not ask for a lawyer because I knew there was no lawyers around.
Okay.
Because I get around the city enough. So I went to my jail. I said, you know what, frig it. I'm going to go to jail, do my time, and I'll get out. It is what it is. He told me he would give me 60 months if I pled guilty. I told him absolutely not, so he gave me the full sentence of 70 months. It was doing my time in prison. All of a sudden, I went to go clean the tables in the lunchroom, and I see them both there. I started running away. I got nervous, and Jordan Steele, he hit me over the head with a flashlight. He turned around and told me, taunting me, "Oh, we're gonna bring you to a nice little place where you could go talk to all the nice people, and you're gonna be there for 3 days and have such a good time." And I asked him, I said, I'm not going nowhere without a lawyer. He denied me a lawyer, sir. He said, absolutely not, he told me. I said, I'm not going nowhere without a lawyer. He proceeded to tell me, we are bringing you right to the place, wherever the hell the place is. Disregarding my right to ask for a lawyer. Did not care, and I knew, because I seen Erin in the city right before I got locked up, that I could have easily called her. So... I went, and that was that. And then I got intercepted, and I got friends that picked me up, and that was that.
All right. So you admit here in court to escaping custody?
Well, it really wasn't escaping custody. I was doing my time.
Right, but you were still in the care of custody of law enforcement at the time. You were still doing your original sentence, correct?
Yeah, I was doing my... I had 20 months left. I literally just checked exactly how many months I had left. I had 20 exact months left, so I went back and it was about to go clean the table, and that's when that's when Jordan and Bayo came, and then Bayo slapped me over the head with a fucking goddamn flashlight.
They took you. You didn't have any part in it.
Yeah, they and on top of it, I didn't ask to be taken. I didn't ask to be getting... I was going to that mental institute, wherever the fuck it was. Who the fuck am I to say I was escaping? They literally just picked me up and took me. How is that escaping custody? They literally just took me.
All right. Give me just a moment.
If it wasn't for that, I would be still in jail doing my months, and I would have been out. As
All right,
simple as that.
Deputy Bayo, did you strike Mr. Pistone?
No, Your Honor.
You did
Oh,
not.
Steele struck me with the
All right,
flashlight.
Officer Steele, did you strike?
Yes, Your Honor. He took a swing at me.
What?
All right.
What?
Mr. Pistone, did you at
No.
any time raise your hand in an aggressive manner
No,
towards...
I was trying to run away,
Okay.
and I got beat over the fucking head with a flashlight.
Your Honor, may I put my 2 cents in on that part?
Yes, you may. Yes, and I want everybody to remain cordial and civil here, please. Thank you.
Mr. Pistone did take a swing at Officer Steele at that point.
You know what swing I took? I swung in air. He was nowhere even near me when I swung, and he
Okay.
just decided to hit me over the head with a fucking flashlight.
Mr.
Sorry for my
Pistone.
language.
Was there a reason why you took a swing though?
Yeah, because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I got nervous.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything else to add before?
Yeah,
I
I
go
do.
back and go
Yeah.
ahead.
The fact that
I
also
do
do.
too.
Wait, hold on. Let me
All
talk.
right, one at a time, please. Thank you.
Basically, I already got charged for all my charges. I got charged for conspiracy, drugs intent to sell, this, that, the other thing. Why are they coming after me again? I was doing my time.
Well, as stated by the officer and the deputy, they were going there to pick you up to take you
Yeah,
to
well, that-
Parsons per...
All right, but I was
There.
doing my time.
Right, I understand that. But you do need to understand that at some point you're still in their care and custody at that time, even if they are transporting you to another facility, okay?
Yeah, no
Now,
problem.
I will allow your attorneys to speak if they so choose at this time.
All right. I would just like to say, we all know what this is. We all know who Jordan Steele is. He's been around long enough. We know what he's like. Whatever he gets away with here, he is going to do again and again
All right, okay.
and again. So
what do you mean
I just
what he's like?
Your Honor, can I just real quick? I'm not a lawyer. I don't know when to
said
object to anything.
I would just like to continue speaking, if that's okay.
All right,
Okay.
so
I didn't interrupt
I'm gonna
anybody
allow
else.
Mr. Braun to speak, and then I will allow you, Officer Steele, to refute what he's saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Your Honor. I just don't want to be painted in a negative light based off
Nobody
speculation.
does.
And
I mean, you got half of the city
Okay.
suing you. I mean, let's
I want
put it like
order in my courtroom right now.
a spade is a
please.
spade here,
Thank you.
buddy.
Order in my courtroom,
Half the
No more
sorry,
outbursts.
sorry.
or I'm going to start charging people with contempt. Mr.
Well,
Braun, you may speak.
I'm not here to do any sort of character assassination, but I think it's reasonable to assume that whatever Mr. Steele gets away with here, he's going to do again. Okay, whatever we allow him to do about this situation will inform how he proceeds in the future. The other thing that I'm going to add on top of that is I've known Dr. Plum for a very long time. She has lobbied for that Parsons Rehabilitation Clinic for a year for a very, very specific type of person who really needs that level of mental health care. She is very short-staffed, and she does not have the capabilities to handle what is clearly a frivolous attempt to jack up my client with bogus mental health issues claims. So again, keep in mind, we all know what this is. That's all I got to say. We all know what it is. Don't let him do this.
Who has the camera in my courtroom?
Oh, sorry. What's the nature of Weasel News?
Who is that?
I gotta go to the bathroom. Be right back.
Yeah, Weasel News, right?
State and Weasel News.
Yep.
Okay. So you do understand that you have to request to the courts before you come in and start filming. Do you
Oh,
understand
shit.
that?
I missed that part, so sorry about that.
All right. Thank you. All right, Officer Steele, you may speak.
Yeah. First, I would just like to clarify his rights were read. Okay. I don't want this to turn into a big case of he said, she said, but the second I put anyone in cuffs, their rights are read. That's what happened there. I don't really even know where to begin. I mean, I'm here to argue the
Right.
specific events that occurred. I don't understand what this hypothetical situation that, it just came off to me as the ramblings of a madman. I don't know what relevance that has on this specific case. I don't know what.
Well,
I don't really know what to
We
say
started
around
from
it.
the very beginning of the interaction that you originally arrested him on, correct?
Right. Yep.
Which does kind of pertain to this as to why you would go out to Bolingbrook to pick him up to take him to Parsons.
Mhm.
I understand. Normally, we don't bring up a prior engagement or situation where you had already arrested him. I'm not here to listen to that part of the argument, but
I'm
it did
referring
pertain
to
as to
Murphy's.
what went on
Yeah.
after that.
No, I'm
Oh,
I
you're
understand
saying
what
his-
you're saying.
Mine
to
were the
Murphy's-
ramblings
Murphy,
of a madman.
please, Murphy.
If I could just
Thank
have a
you.
chance to
Can
speak.
we
Yeah,
call-
I'm
Yes.
referring to his hypothetical
Can we call up
situation
a
of
character
me
witness?
abusing this power when you yourself had previously just asked me, have I 5150'd other people who have shot at cops? My answer
Correct.
was no.
Correct.
I never have. So
Right.
that, I mean,
But you have
that-
abused every power that
Can I
anyone has
fucking
ever given
talk?
you.
On. No more outbursts, please. Allow him to speak. He allowed you to speak. Thank you.
Anyways, you yourself said it yourself. I've
Mhm.
never 5150'd anyone that is shot at cops. And of course, you know, through my normal patrol,
Yeah.
we get it.
Okay.
You know, hey, if you'll allow me, you know, fuck you cops.
African, thank you.
You know,
Right.
after, you know, that kind of stuff.
Let me
But
see it.
this was different. This was
I
a rant.
completely understand.
There were explicit details. He
Chad.
mentioned that he would take pleasure in it. This was different. Okay,
That's
It's not
African.
like anyone
Chat,
who says
that's African,
this is
chat.
going to be charged with a 5150. And you know,
Yo,
like I
Medi,
said,
what up,
based
baby?
off his record, I had every reason to believe that that his threats had substance.
Okay.
Maddie, what up, baby? They
Your
tried
Honor?
to hit me with a
Like I
50.
said, if you let him get away with it, you will do it again.
Judge LeBar.
Hold on. Let Deputy Bayo speak. I will allow you to speak.
Okay.
May I approach for a quick
You
question?
may approach, yes. Mr. Braun, would you like to come up here as well?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Go ahead.
Somebody let me
Would you
through,
like the
damn.
document that's been provided to police previously? Okay.
Jordan's crazy about the I'm telling you.
It's
Oh,
fucking
Vato.
insane. Since when is actually shooting somebody?
Okay, I
not
don't
as
want any
bad
more
as somebody
comments.
saying they're gonna shoot somebody. You sick fuck job, eh?
I will.
Tisk tisk.
We'll call up Diaz.
Metzger, come here.
So who do you want to call as witness?
Diaz.
Okay.
Steele, come out here.
Hey, what about Jing? Jing, but yeah, this motherfucker threatened to kill me all the time.
Would she say it though?
Sick. Yeah.
Where is she?
I don't know.
Call her, see where she is.
I think he's threatening to kill everybody in the city, Vato.
For real.
I think every criminal in the
Again,
city. I'm sorry,
Whoever
miss,
just
I'm
said
sorry,
that,
Chief
I don't want any more
Justice.
comments.
I'm sorry,
about that.
sorry.
Not in my courtroom.
Sorry.
If you want to talk about it on the streets, that's fine. But not in here, please. I want everybody to understand it's very
James
late
and
during
Frank.
the night.
Huh?
Yes,
I
it is
appreciate
very late,
everyone
and this
acting
is a very
cordial up
serious
to this
matter.
point.
Where is she?
Yes, sir.
Elle's probably in a coma.
I'll tell you, you're
Oh,
lucky
there
that
she
I love
is.
you like
Oh,
a
shit.
fucking brother
Jean's right
because
there.
I wasn't even gonna come into the city tonight.
Jing's right there, baby.
I know I see her.
Yeah.
Mr. LeBar,
Yes.
would I be able to call up character witnesses?
I don't think we'll have to deal with any character witnesses for this.
Well, I just want to
So
prove
for
a
your-
point, sir.
So for it's quite all right, but for your
Okay.
bench trial, it's pertaining to this said incident that happened with the escaping
Well,
custody
yeah,
and the
yeah.
5150 on top of that. It's quite all right. All right,
Your Honor-
have you two had a moment to review the
Yes.
document? Do you have any questions or comments, or you'd like to add?
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to clarify. A 5150 is a recommendation, correct?
A 5150 is when you take the person. It's not a recommendation for a hold, okay? A 5150 is an actual hold. When this person is 5150. They are actually sent to Parsons, okay? And then it's up to mental health after that to do what they deem necessary to see if this person is fit to re-enter society or if there are no mental health. This happens daily across this great country, okay, where people are brought in and they're evaluated, and sometimes they're released within 24 hours. Sometimes they're released the same, couple hours later. Sometimes they're not released. Sometimes they are held, and then you have where the courts get involved after that, okay? But in this city, in order for certain things to happen, sometimes a judge needs to be the one that actually has to put that person inside Parsons.
Okay. So just to get further clarification,
Yes.
we're pushing for an evaluation right now, correct?
You are the ones pushing for the evaluation, yes.
Okay, so now 5150 is not a charge yet, correct?
It is not a charge.
So
There
how
is
can it be contested here?
Well, it's going to be down to whether I am going to be the one that's going to put him in Parsons or not, based off of everything that I've heard here.
Your Honor, can I talk?
Your Honor, I had gotten the okay from Artson. I'm not trying to go over
Okay.
your head. I'm just letting you know what happened.
I completely understand that. I completely understand that you spoke to Artson earlier in the day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Your Honor, can I talk?
Yes.
He said something about an evaluation. There was no evaluation. They was sending me right there. They would literally 5150 in my ass. The fact that I couldn't even get a lawyer.
Okay.
They refused me a lawyer.
Right.
I also can confirm that I was in the city, and Jordan knows this as well because he called me for 2 different cases.
Once again, 5150 was not what we're charging with. We're getting mental eval.
The exact
Right.
words out of your mouth were you're being sent away to Parsons for a 5150. Those are the
That never
exact words
came out
out
of my mouth.
That was out of
Pistone.
Jordan's mouth, and he told me I was going to go meet a lot of nice people and go talk to all these nice people. That's exactly what he said.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything to add before I go back and
Oh, yeah,
deliberate?
he also said that I will be in there for 3 days. That's what he told me.
Your Honor, I
Doesn't-
said maximum 3 days.
All right. All I'm going to say, Your
Well,
Honor, is
There is
that
no maximum time on a actual 5150. The way it works is, and I'll explain this very quickly, if Mr. Pistone goes into Parsons mental health facility and the person has not been assessed at the 72-hour, then we would have a separate hearing on behalf of Mr. Pistone for his release. Okay, there are plenty of people that are held past the 72 hours that are being treated with treatment. If they're not being treated, then that becomes an issue.
I don't need Diaz. He
Does that
said
make
I
sense?
basically.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
It
all
makes
right.
complete sense.
Right. Okay. So, do you have anything else to add either side?
I was going to say one more thing, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that I think what goes on at Parsons Clinic is very important for the city. It's very important for some very particularly disturbed individuals, and it's something that should be taken very seriously. This situation with Mr. Pistone is not what that place is available to us for. This is something different, and it is an example of an officer pretty much creating a situation that meets a need for him to pretty much want to put away Mr.
Right.
Pistone here for longer than he would normally be allowed to, and it cannot be allowed. That's it.
Okay.
Sure, I can.
I
add
will go
something
back.
as well.
Go ahead.
Yep. Your Honor, I mean, the fact of the matter is, Mr. Pistone stated that he would take great pleasure in watching another individual bleed to death. And that threat, it came true. He did just that. He stood over my corpse, my dying body. Fortunately, I survived. It's a miracle, really. We were filled with blood. He stood over my body, and he taunted me. And it wasn't a threat. Everything he said, he did. And I mean, if
I didn't do nothing.
I mean, we're talking about a precedence being set. Sure, let's talk about that. If the court is willing to let a man who takes pleasure in seeing another person die, Your Honor, if the court is willing to let him walk the streets freely and not get the mental health that a person like that would need, then I would agree with Murphy at that point. Then what is the point of Parsons?
Rana, I was in cuffs. I didn't do nothing. How the hell did I do anything? I was in cuffs.
Wait, I never
Okay.
said what is the point of Parsons.
Thank you, Your
I
Honor.
said it was very important what they do.
I was
there.
in cuffs and in a cop cruiser.
Okay, so Mr. Pistone, you've already stated that you escaped custody by your own testimony.
I didn't escape custody. I was taken, sir.
Mr. Pistone, you were still in the custody and care and control of the state at that time.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand that?
Yes, I was
Okay.
in cuffs,
Right.
sir.
Now, the other thing I need to read to you, and that I am bound by with this document, okay? And I want everybody to understand this. The only time a judge will intervene is if a citizen is detained past 72 hours without being seen by medical staff. Does everyone understand that is what I'm saying at this time?
Mm-hmm.
In that case,
As
a
to pertaining to
51
what?
as to
I've been thinking
pertaining
it's a
to the
whole-
5150 that you gentlemen have brought forward with this escape and custody warrant as well.
Okay.
So, unfortunately for you, Mr. Pistone, my hands are bound here if these officers do intend to 5150 you at this time. Do you understand that? By law, I cannot break that code. Do you understand that?
Sure.
But there must be a qualified attending physician that will see you at the earliest opportunity if these officers so choose to 5150 you. So, as to the escape and custody charge, because you were in the care and control and still in their custody, being transported to a mental health facility, I will find you guilty of that. I will give you time served, though, on that. The fine will stay the same with that, but I will give you the time served. But at this time, it is up to these officers whether they are going to 5150 you or not. I cannot intervene in that. Do you understand that?
Yep.
All right. So it's going to be an $800 fine and time served for Mr. Pistone when it comes to the escape and custody charge. As for the 5150, Officer Steele and Deputy Bayo.
Oh, can I just add something?
Yes, you may add.
So basically what you're telling me is that any officer in the city, if they pulled up on a job that criminals were doing, and they told them, if you step foot in this place, we're going to shoot you in your face, and an officer say, well, I'm going to 5150 you? Deliberately telling an officer... Deliberately telling an officer...
Hold on. Let me answer your question real quick. As to subsection C of the 5150 code, at no time should a 5150 be used as a threat or a tool for law enforcement or doctors. 5150 should only be used when there is enough probable cause, as stated in the first subsection listed as A. We are here to serve the citizens, not harass them or use 5150s as a way to gain an advantage on a citizen, even if the citizen has been released from state custody previously.
And that's exactly the way I feel Jordan Steele used it.
I understand.
agree.
So at this time, as I stated, Mr. Pistone, I will find you guilty of escape and custody. You did escape their custody and care and control at that time. The $800 fine will stick. The
That's
time
fine.
served is going to be with that. Now on to the 5150. As stated, it is up to those two right there, Deputy Bayo and Officer Steele.
How can they determine that they're not a doctor? That's what I'm
That's
not
why
understanding.
they place you there, and then the doctor determines if you have a psychiatric health disorder.
Now,
Do
if
you
the
understand
doctor
that?
says he's
This-
all good, is that going to remain on his record? Because that is an incredibly
Isn't that defamation
huge
of character?
stigma.
It
Yeah,
is not
that's a-
defamation of character, okay?
That cannot
This
remain on
makes
his
no
record.
5150
sense,
would be
dude.
removed from
This
his
makes
record,
absolutely
yes.
no sense.
I can. Eugene has been 5150'd, I believe it was 4 times, and none of those are still on his record.
Right.
So
Makes no sense at all. Hickey, thank you for
All
that
right.
crime.
I will go ahead and dismiss.
You did just kinda
and
tell
close
half the
this-
town
this
about it,
bench
though.
trial. But yeah, you just did do that to Eugene.
well, it's not on
really
his
good.
record anymore.
Sick
job.
Fuck.
All right.
Oops.
You
Hickey,
can
thank you so much
go
for
ahead
that
and
crime.
find him, and if you're gonna send him to Parsons, I would do so. If not, I would release him and let him walk out those doors free to go.
Your Honor, I believe he showed no remorse in the courtroom today for his actions, so I am still going to recommend the 5150.
Of course you are.
That's
Okay.
on you, Officer Steele.
Oh,
I,
how is
I
this
can't-
not a
I can't
command
tell you-
decision?
I can't tell you.
How
what
is
to
a
do or
cadet
not.
making this
Anybody in
decision?
the crowd who might be into doing things, don't do
How is a
anything
cadet
anymore.
gonna make this
Just
decision?
saying.
Okay.
Heat of the moment, I said something, and he's just gonna. No problem.
Right.
No problem.
I don't have any control
Guess it's
over
against
that
the
officer
law.
at this time. Okay. Their SOPs are written in a certain way. That
a
5150
cadet
guideline.
that's been on duty for 3 weeks has the decision to put me
Yeah.
away.
Abuse of
understand your
power.
Wow.
Serious abuse of power.
Wow.
Abuse.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, this bench trial is dismissed.
All right, well,
What
you
the
guys
fuck?
win.
Jordan.
The Dicks won. Do
Boo.
whatever the fuck you
Karma.
want. I don't give a shit anymore.
Karma.
Mr. Pistone, if you'll step over here with us, please.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm done with this shit.
Pistone's just old. He's not.
You guys are fucked in the head.
Douchebags.
Who
Douchebags.
5150s you guys when you guys are
Hey, yo,
fucking
can I talk to you alone,
doing this
please?
kind of shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's recordings out
I
there.
believe that we're going to need
Just gonna move you away. It's really loud over here.
77s.
Yeah, no problem.
Probably all units to the courthouse for this transport.
Theo, it was in the heat of the
Uh-oh.
moment. That's what you need to understand.
Hope
Make
you guys
sure
are
that
proud.
you
Seriously.
submit the proper paperwork to.
Vinny
to,
Pistone was just
you found a
recommended
way-
to
you found a
Parsons
way to
instead
go
of
loud
half
and
the
careful.
fucking
Can you bring me in
Good
the
job.
court in the
Hope you guys
back?
pat
Let
each
me
other
ask
on
you
the
a
back.
Murphy, I'm
chambers.
gonna suggest you just leave the courtroom now.
I'm gonna suggest that you suck my ball sack.
Whoa.
Get the gruesome first there, Murphy.
10-9.
Okay, since when did you become a fucking court-appointed psychologist?
Hey.
I'm not.
Murphy, relax, all right?
This is not what.
Relax.
Yeah, go work
I'm
on your
holding
Italian
a
I think
defense.
it's
phone. It's
idiot.
obviously
Go
broken.
to
Look
bed.
at this bullshit.
Let's go work on
Jordan
your
obviously
fucking,
has so many
it's
fucking
so
issues
loud.
that
I
he
can't hear you.
telling someone is
Yeah,
50,
it's so
50,
loud.
50.
What are you talking about?
Aaron, can you lower your voice, please?
This is
No,
how you get your
suck
3-day
my
holds
fucking
back.
balls.
You just abuse how things
Nice.
are written,
I
and
just still
you
can't
get
hear
to
you.
put people away for
God
however
damn it,
long you
dude.
want to. That's perfect.
Can you fucking shut? Can you shut the fuck up out there? I'm trying to talk to Bayo, please. Okay.
Yeah, that's how. What's the
Murphy,
point of
fucking
court?
whisper,
You don't
Murphy.
need court
Murphy,
to put
fucking
people
whisper,
on,
dude.
Mental holds. You don't need court to do that. So
All right, talk.
Just go do
Just
whatever
talk,
you want
please.
to.
I'm losing my
Just
fucking
do
mind.
Yeah.
Anything.
Well,
Anything you want to.
there's an observation that he made, and not
You
everybody
put
says
people away for.
they're going to take pleasure.
just
The
about
fact is, the
anything.
pleasure that you're going to take out of seeing blood flowing out of our body.
I didn't
That's-
say
that's-
I didn't say the
Fourteen,
blood
that's
part.
one.
You know that, Bayo.
No, no,
How
no,
long
no,
do
no,
I
you
know
really
you,
did.
Bayo?
You
I
really
don't
did.
remember saying that. Bayo was the you Bayo
There
between
was-
Bayo
there were
between
some
me and
things
you.
that were
I'm gonna
said.
Bayo. I'm gonna say one thing to you. This is between me and you. You want to know the real reason why I said what I said?
Why is that?
Because I'm, as much as this sounds as fucked up as it sounds, he used one word that will literally blow a gasket on me, and he said
Yeah,
it.
and you're hardly a woman.
What word is that? You don't
It's
want me asking.
a tard. The whole word.
No, and I goddamn don't want to.
And that's what triggered me. And I'm not gonna lie,
why
and I'm
that's
being
not
straight
funny.
with you. That's the only reason why I went where I went. I didn't want to
Well,
bring it up in court,
I
but
get
that's
that.
why.
I'm not a fan of that word either, but
That's why I
you know,
snapped the way I snapped. And I'm being straight with you.
605 to 302.
What's done
Really?
is done. There were some things that were said out of here that I wasn't certain of, and I'm not going to back it if I didn't hear it or know it myself.
Yeah, no, he said it. He
But-
called me it.
No,
He
no,
called
I
me it.
heard that part, but
Are
the
you
part that I
taking
did hear
drugs
too
right
was
now?
the fact that you said you take pleasure in seeing us bleed out.
Okay.
You did. Say
Are
that.
they narcotics?
Well, it was
I
because
wouldn't
after
make
that
that up.
incident. And I don't
And-
remember
and-
saying that. I just
and-
said fully would
Stop. What are you doing? Do you have a
Based
prescription?
on what
Personally-
he wanted to push for,
That's,
he had the
that's an
grounds
awful
to
lot
do
there,
so.
Murphy.
That's fine. That's fine.
so that's kind of where we're at. You know, I'm not
That's
picking
totally
sides,
good. Listen,
his
I'm,
side
you,
or your
I'm,
side. The
I,
fact
I'm
is,
good
like,
with you,
we're-
Bayo. Bayo, between me and you, I'm good with you. Don't worry. I'm
Alright,
fine
man.
with you. brother.
Well, I hope you don't find me.
You're fine. Don't worry.
All right, let's get you billed real quick. Did you already
Yeah,
get
no
billed?
problem. No, I didn't.
Let's see what he wants to do. I think he's gonna push for Parsons. So
That's fine.
okay, let me see what we got here. One moment.
This is basically the way they get back their 3-day holds, which is sad. They're literally using this to get their 3-day holds now. This is really sad. This is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Come here. Wait till,
Alright,
They're
the judge is
legit.
gonna send you down there.
All right. They're legit using this to get 3-day holds back, and
Wish
it's
you the best
sad.
of luck. Hope you get the help that you need, and if you don't
I mean,
need the
I
help,
I don't
then,
need
well,
help
you
at
know.
all, dude. You know that. I'm a fucking successful businessman,
going
owned
back after the
PDM for
storm?
about a year. I really don't need it. It was the heat of the moment, Bayo, and that's all
I'm
it
sure
is.
once you get reviewed by the
Oh, yeah,
psychiatrist
we're
and
gonna-
you'll
oh,
be
yeah,
cut
no,
loose,
never mind.
I think
Mhm.
is how it
Yeah,
works.
you
Yeah, no
can go to
problem.
sleep.
Vinny, I just want you to know
I'm gonna
I'm
bring up,
literally
You were placed on mental hold. Yo, I'm up in the mental home.
Hey, I know. Just come back after the tsunami. I'm gonna get Pixie, and we're getting you out of there straight away. This is bullshit. It's fucking dumb, dude.
All right, sounds good. I'll be
Okay.
back after the tsunami. I love you. Thank you. Done. I'll be out real quick. Chad, he is so... You don't even know what's coming to him. Chad, you have no clue what's even coming to him. You don't even know what's coming to this motherfucker Steel, dude. It's a nice place up here. He is so fucked. He is so fucked. Jordan, I am gonna continuously just mag dump Jordan. That's all I'm doing. This is all I'm doing. I'm gonna continually mag dump on Jordan. It's crazy. I'm just gonna keep just dumping lead on him every 2 minutes that I can. No, that's fail RP if you leave. Yeah, Visa, we made it. We made it, man. We made it. I guess we're gonna be here for a while, chat. Oh, I'm not suing him. Vinny's gonna handle it his way. He's dead. He's fucking dead. I will bury this motherfucker. I will bury this motherfucker, chat. I promise. I'm gonna bury the shit out of him. I promise you that. I'm gonna fucking bury him. He does not realize what he just did. He just signed himself a fucking death warrant. Every time I see him, I will be literally shooting at him on sight. I'm treating him like I'm at war with a gang. Every time I see Jordan Steele, I'm literally just gonna light him up with no regard. With no regard at all. I'm just gonna constantly just lay into him all the time.
Hey, you guys might want to come out. If you threaten me in any way or threaten to take my life, I will 5150 you for 3 days.
Oh my god.
Shit. We're not really trying to take lives. We're just trying to make money.
Yeah, don't threaten me in any way. My poor little feelies will be hurt.